So that's the real entry with real-time price data, and that is the TradeIQ entry. You see the difference? Do you trust TradeIQ's testing results? And if you can't trust him with this, with his best strategy on the channel on a 5-minute crypto chart, do you trust him with any of his other strategies? And then why do you keep watching his videos? Roughly around the same time, we would have received our breakout signal of the Scalper Pro, but this time with a real signal that is not presented on a Heikin-Ashi chart, and I'm not promising 950% returns for you guys. The Scalper Pro works really well if you know what you're doing. You look at support and resistance, we broke out of consolidation, you place your stop loss up here. Okay, let's wait till the next time we turn green, which would have been on this candle. This would have been a... Hey guys, and welcome back to the Accumulation Zone. This video today is gonna be a very casual video of me debunking TradeIQ and basically revealing how full of shit TradeIQ on his whole YouTube channel is. I didn't write a script for this video, I'm just gonna do it off my head. So alright, I'm going to be talking about officially the best 5-minute crypto strategy on the channel, over 915% growth. And that's just total bullshit. It's complete clickbait and people like it. His channel grew from 0 to 58,000 subscribers in less than half a year. People are going nuts over his strategies, even though they're complete bullshit. Sorry for the hate and flame here, but that's my opinion, and I'm trying to show you, at least with this video, how TradeIQ's backtesting results are completely not reliable and that most of his strategies are basically complete bullshit. This is prime example. And now the funny part begins. So he's placing his stop loss based on the last red bar here on the awesome oscillator. So right here, this level, and he's looking for a 2-to-1 risk reward. Let's have a look at the actual TradingView chart. And to make my point even clearer, I'm using this indicator here. Heikin-Ashi True Close here from Dcoin, only 82, not a very popular script, but this just points out if this candle is closing where the actual price is sitting at. So even though the Heikin-Ashi candle is closing here and reopening here, that does not mean anything that you would be able to get this price down here. And that's exactly the same candle. So that's this candle, next candle, and TradeIQ placed his entry on this candle. So if we go into replay mode isn't even available. I forgot about that. So we see this candle, and on this candle none of our parameters align. So we don't have the bullish cross yet here above 0, and we didn't get a crossover here. So what do we see? The next candle is opening, but it doesn't open at this price. Price is sitting right here. It is sitting right up here. It didn't come back down here. That's just the way Heikin-Ashi candles are calculated. It's using the high, the low of the previous candle, dividing it by 2, ending up in the middle of those candles. That's why they always start in the middle. But this doesn't mean that the real price moved down here. It didn't. So claiming you get an entry right here is not even possible. Because price probably never reached this level again, even if you use this as your entry. At the Heikin-Ashi candle close, the actual price was up here. So, and that's changing so much of every strategy. If someone's testing a strategy on Heikin-Ashi candles and either doing this or that, don't trust this guy. Like, honestly guys, you're falling into like the most common trap, and then you're trading that strategy and you're surprised why you're losing money. That's complete madness. So now let's have a look at this entry here. In this example, he's doing a short entry. Now let's have a look what actually happened. So first of all, we again see our blue line, which represents our real-time Japanese candlesticks candle close. So, alright, now we saw this downtick. So we had an uptick right here on the awesome oscillator. We ticked to the downside, and we had volume breaking above it. What did he do? He is entering right here. Let's double check. Yep, he's entering at 50% of this candle. Price did never come back here. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not coming back. It's not going back up here. Maybe if you set a limit order, you might get lucky if a wick is triggering your entry. It's just not working. If you would have entered on this candle close, you would have gotten your entry right here. Let's see, last uptick, your stop loss would have been right here. So he entered right here. A 2 to 1 would have been hit right here. Super smart trade. Probably with your commission and everything on your crypto exchange, this wouldn't have even like been profitable. So let's have a look. On this candle, we closed. So if you would wait for the confirmation, or if I would code it into a strategy, my strategy would place the entry right here. So that would now already be only a 0.5 risk to reward ratio. So to get a 2 risk reward, we would actually have to take price all the way down till here. So that's the real entry with real-time price data, and that is the TradeIQ entry. You see the difference? Do you trust TradeIQ's testing results? And if you can't trust him with this, with his best strategy on the channel on a 5-minute crypto chart, do you trust him with any of his other strategies? And then why do you keep watching his videos? And I know, oh man, what do you mean? It's still a winning trade. Of course it's a winning trade. This can happen and you might still get lucky, but that just means that his backtesting results are complete nonsense. Because sometimes, yeah, you might get lucky, because look at the difference where price has to move based on his entry. The level price didn't even reach anymore. Let's have a close look and go back to normal Chinese candlesticks. Japanese, sorry. Let's go back in time. And where are we right now? Here. Let me zoom in. What do we see? So this is where TradeIQ placed this entry right up on this level. And this is where the real-time price actually closed, a real-time candle. So if you would have entered on this trade, because TradeIQ's best 5-minute crypto strategy told you to enter on this candle, you would have been thrown in down here, and you'd be drawing up your chart, be like, that's a bit weird. I thought I entered up here, like that's how TradeIQ tested it in his videos, and I trust TradeIQ because he's showing me those insane backtesting results. That's bullshit. You see, that's where he placed his entry, and price never even got close to it, and that's what I meant. You might get lucky, and you might find yourself with a lucky wick that's coming up there, but you would also have to, set a buy limit order. But he is showing it with a market order example. So you would actually have entered right here on this candle close. And if we go back to Heikin Ashi, let it load. Nope, that's not it. That's real-time price right now. Did a few tests and it also didn't give a lot of, it doesn't have to give a lot of signals, but just while we're at it, that's another signal. So right here we had an uptick. We were above the 0 lag SMA. We had no wick to the downside. Our volume was also super bullish. So if we have a closer look at this candle, where would TradeIQ enter? Right down here. Where did price really close? Right up here. So if he would have entered based on his strategy, which would, okay, this one is checked. We have a valid setup based on the awesome oscillator. We have a valid setup here on the HVI. Well, your entry would have been here. And even if you set a buy limit order down here, look at the difference. So that's your stop loss right here on that last candle. So right here, that's our stop loss. So look at the difference. So now we have a 7 risk reward. 7 risk reward. Let's change it to a 2 risk reward. Of course, with a 2 risk reward, this trade would have been a winning trade if you would have entered like this. But this candle didn't close yet and price never reached that level. So now if we actually entered on this candle on our, like, let's say for example Bybit account. Yep, so this would have already been a 0 to 0.15 risk reward ratio. Before it was a 2 risk reward ratio. So to get it back up to a 2 risk reward ratio, you would have to go even higher than this. Of course, you get a 70, I don't even know what the win rate was in his video. Of course you get a super high win rate if you test it like this, because even with this crappy trade right here, you can make a winning trade out of it. Here, there's your 2 to 1. And you trust his trading results, really? I mean, people must, because he's got 60,000 followers, subscribers, active, watching his videos day in, day out. Biggest... I can't find words for it. Yeah, and here we have the old example again. So, well, I mean, you can still follow TradeIQ and watch his videos, I mean, no judgment, but I just want to point out that his backtesting results are not honest and not realistic, so yeah. So now, just really quick to show you a comparison between like real results. I would never show you Heikin Ashi results because I know they're not realistic in any sort of backtesting. So again, here we had TradeIQ's entry, and you see that's where he placed his entry. Price never reached that level, but still he counted it as a winning trade. So yeah, well, forget about that crap and have a look at something proper. So that's the Scalper Pro. That's one of my indicators I use every day. And let's just look at it. I use the settings with a trend length of 10 and a squeeze detection period of 10, because we're on a lower time frame. You want to do quick scalping with this indicator, basically. That's what it's designed for. So right here we had a band squeeze, and if you, for example, turn on your alerts here, add alert on Scalper Pro, you can add an alert on those alerts, so you don't even have to sit in front of the computer, and all you would have to wait is for your alert. Okay, we see we are squeezing, price action is squeezing. I can draw this up with a little rectangle here. So we see we're squeezing, and we broke out on this candle. So that's your confirmation. We take this trade, we place our stop loss on the same level as TradeIQ. You can give it a bit more room and maybe choose this swing low. Wherever you place your stop loss, you can use ATR bands. You can use this complete swing low, like you're just looking for a quick in and out scalp. So let's say, for example, you are targeting a 2 to 1 risk reward. Hit, very easy, no bullshit, simple strategy. That's what I teach my people in the Telegram. Wait for squeezes, catch the breakout, make sure you look at proper support and resistance. So for example, right now, we could have had a little bit of resistance right around this level, and support, resistance equals support. So what do we see? We broke through this level. Maybe you could have thought or assumed this could be a reversal, so I'm not taking this breakout. Okay, you wait, you haven't missed anything. You get the next squeeze alert. You see the bands are from expansion, coiling back to squeeze. We turn bearish on this little candle here. Retouched our resistance line that has now been turned into support, retested it, and we broke out on this exact candle. So if you didn't take the risky entry right here before we broke through our resistance, you could have just taken the next trade right here on this candle, place your stop loss right here, and how I, for example, do it, I would wait for the scalper to turn either red, which would have happened on this candle. So you could have waited till here, that would be a 3.26 risk reward trade, and you would have caught a nice breakout. That's how I do it with the Scalper Pro. You can also, for example, just say you're looking for a 4 risk reward, like for example here, and you wait for it to break major structure or just let it run a little bit. Use an EMA, something that trails along with price, and if price is being broken, that's your exit signal. So right here we got bearish divergence, so you're already looking at it, we're definitely getting some resistance up here. Let's draw up this line. We got resistance, we've been rejected by this level the whole time. We touched it, got close to it, but didn't really touch it. And let's have a look at this entry. So right here, what we can see is we basically consolidated during that whole move. Of course, we had a few fake outs, but we were stuck in this consolidation range. Let's make it a bit clearer. Okay, so we had our first fake out, and even if you would have bought this fake out, no worries. Of course, we got our breakout, but we didn't have a beautiful squeeze. But here, the bands got really narrow if you compared with previously. So we had very narrow bands. We broke out to the upside, but we didn't get any identification that this is going to break out of this consolidation to the upside. So what do? We could treat this as reversal signal. For example, if you turn on your settings here, color bars based on Scalper line, we are now coloring our candles based on the Scalper Pro. So if the Scalper Pro is green, our candles are going to be green, and if our candles, if the Scalper Pro is red, the candles are going to be colored in red. So that was TradeIQ's entry. Roughly around the same time, we would have received our breakout signal of the Scalper Pro, but this time with a real signal that is not presented on a Heikin-Ashi chart, and I'm not promising 950% returns for you guys. The Scalper Pro works really well if you know what you're doing. You look at support and resistance, we broke out of consolidation, you place your stop loss up here. Okay, let's wait till the next time we turn green, which would have been on this candle. This would have been a 3.5 risk to reward trade. And what happened here? You look at basic market structure. Again, we had a squeeze. We had the squeeze breakout on this candle already before we had this drop. So you could have either waited for the squeeze, for the breakout, which would have happened on this candle, and took this one as well. But if you look at it from a bigger picture, this was on the 30th of July on a 5-minute chart, Bitcoin US dollar, just using the Scalper Pro with squeeze alerts and breakouts, with support and resistance. That's a 4 risk reward, or a 3.3 risk reward if we would have closed as soon as the Scalper Pro turned red again. Same here, next time it turned green again was right here. Could have waited, even holding it longer, just taking partials and moving your stop loss or your break even point closer to where price is right now. Yeah, well, I hope I really hope you guys have learned something from this video. It was a complete spontaneous video. I just really felt the urge to make it more aware what TradeIQ is doing on his channel. And if he is proudly sharing officially the best 5-minute crypto strategy on the channel, over 915% growth with poor backtesting results like this. I mean, come on guys. You can't trust any of his results, any of his strategies. It's just total bullshit in my opinion. That's just me being complete honest. Look at the Scalper Pro, what I try to teach to my small community now. Using the Scalper Pro, a very easy tool, one indicator with support and resistance and basic market structure. Yeah, and see where it gets you. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video and you have learned something from it. I will continue working for my community, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.